Well, we all have been guilty of eating a little too much over the holiday, Thanksgiving holiday. Dr. Roz is here with some tips to kind of make us feel a little bit better at that dinner table before and after we eat. Is that right?
Yes, absolutely. You know, it's a common time. It's family, friends, food. And a common question I get is how to avoid this craving. And so I have a few tips for avoiding all those cravings and how not to gain so much weight during the holidays.
That's hard. I mean, I feel like we had some Thanksgiving dinner yesterday and I felt like I gained weight.
Well, that's possible.
You eat so much stuff and you're not used to it.
Yeah.
But you have some really good tips for us, don't you?
And one of those is cinnamon supplement.
Cinnamon, okay.
Yeah. And that could be in a pill form or it could be sublingual in a liquid. And what that does, it slows down your GI motility. And so therefore you feel full longer.
Huh. So what do? You just eat a teaspoon? I mean, I've seen people eat cinnamon on TV and it looks really painful. So what do you do?
Well, it does have a little spice to it, and it's sweet. And so the thing about that is that for the sugar cravings that you may have, it can help settle that. So it slows down the GI motility. You feel full longer. It can help curb that sugar crave that you may have. Then it also helps, like after you have a piece of pie, like my grandmother's sweet potato pie, so much sugar, I want to take a nap afterwards. But you can't, because then you're packing that. You're going to keep that.
So you've got to get up and move around.
Absolutely. So cinnamon helps push that into the cell, that glucose, and so therefore you have a little bit more energy.
I like that. Now tell me, you mentioned here curb your appetite with what else besides cinnamon?
Well, other than cinnamon, the other one is chromium picolate.
Okay.
So chromium picolate, and these are things that are found in your health food store as well.
Okay.
And it helps with that as well.
And what is that? What is chromium picolate? Did I say that right?
Yeah, you absolutely said that right. And that is a supplement that you can take, so like a vitamin. But it's something that our bodies need. We need the chromium, and the picolate just actually helps to drive it into the cell.
Okay. What other things can we do with ingredients?
Well, some of the other things that we can do, stevia is one of my favorites. And so stevia in place of sugar. So when you're doing your baked goods, you know, load it up with, well, not load it up because it's very, very powerful. In fact, it's 200 times more sweet than sugar. But use stevia as a supplement to sugar for your baked goods.
Oh, that's a really good idea. And that will actually kind of help curbing some of that feeling of
that, and you don't get all the calories that you normally get with the sugar.
I like that.
Yes.
I love that. And your last one, sparkling water. What does that do for us?
Well, the sparkling water, not necessarily just sparkling water, but just water in general. So have a couple glasses of water before sitting down to have your Thanksgiving meal. And so therefore you're less likely to go for the second helping.
That makes sense.
Yeah, and then when you're out celebrating, instead of going for the beverages, then have some sparkling water. It's just as cute. But
it is cute.
Without all the sugar.
Put it in a fancy glass or however you want to do that.
Yeah, a cherry.
So, and then, you know, I always say you got to wear something that's not super constricting because that also contributes a little bit, doesn't it?
Yeah, well, or you want to constrict it a little bit. Just hide it, you know, and then it's tight, then you're less likely to consume so much because it hurts.
Oh, that's a really good tip, too. Look at her. She's got all kinds of things. So you could, it's kind of like tricking your body to think you're smaller than you are.
Yeah,
I like that. What about just loading up our plates with, you know, I feel like, you know, when you go, there's a lot of carbs, there's a lot of things that can really contribute. What are your tips on that?
Well, you definitely want to have good choices. And particularly if you're going to a late night party or event, and there's tons of food, lots of carbs, skip the carbs. Go for the protein, more veggies and more of the meats. You know, like salmon or something like that. And so, you know, lay off the carbohydrates late at night because you're not going to burn that much unless you're dancing the night away.
So what about, here's my biggest question. I know the folks at home can relate. What about when you go back? You've eaten everything, you've cleaned up, and it's like 11 o'clock, and you want your second helping of Thanksgiving dinner. What do you do then?
Not a good idea.
How do you do that? It's so good. And you only get to do it one day a year.
Well, that's true, but make it something maybe more turkey versus the mac and cheese or potatoes.
I like that.
Yes.
Excellent tips, Dr. Roz. Thank you so much. We can always find you at?
DrRozMD.com.
Perfect. Thank you so much.
Thank you.